Hey, what's going on? It's been a while since I've made a video of this style or whatever. But you know how life can be, can get you busy. But I wanted to make time to really talk about a subject that's been weighing on my mind a lot that I just wanted to, tackle and break down. I'm sure you've already read the title, so I'll just get right into it. Why social media depresses people. And before I go any further, this is not a bash on social media video. I am very active on almost all forms of social media. And they have a lot of benefits. So this isn't to, just spout off hatred towards social media or say why it's evil or whatever. Just to break down, or rather just get a proper understanding of why social media depresses so many people. I know so many people who are like, just gotta take a break from Facebook or Instagram or Snapchat. So yeah, let's just get into it because it's not one concrete reason. First, I'm gonna say that I don't feel it's one reason why social media depresses people. I feel it's an amalgamation of different reasons that just weigh down on somebody. So let's just try and get into a few, and hopefully, this will be able to get a better understanding of why social media makes people feel the way it does. Number one, passive aggressiveness. Social media, more than ever, has allowed people to be passive aggressive. Some might even use the word petty more than ever before. Because through social media, we now no longer have to directly confront or directly address or talk to specific people that we might want to talk to anymore. I've known people say certain things along the lines of, I posted this and it was really meant for one person, but I made it sound general and vague enough to where, it doesn't sound like I'm throwing shade directly. Pretty much just flat out told me that, this was, what they posted was meant to be, a vague statement as somebody, but not actually meant to call them out directly. And the reason that could lead to a lot of people being depressed or whatever is probably due to the fact that when you have a certain passive aggressive nature to your post or something that's vague but clearly meant to indicate something bigger or larger, it can get kind of annoying. And get kind of annoying, or at least a lot of people can view it as annoying, rather. And not because like, oh, I'm sick of seeing it, but because the saying, if the shoe fits, a lot of people have various personality traits or do certain things, and and they might be aware of it, but may not think much of it. But you post a certain status or a certain picture. Well, it could, depending on how that person acts, it could get under their skin. It could rattle them, and it may not even been meant for them. Because of that, it could establish beef that you didn't even know you had with somebody. You just make a beef with just some random person all of a sudden, and that could often lead to rumors, gossip, them talking badly about you behind your back. It can lead to so many different things. It leads to you not being able to trust them, or you see them in person and you're like, oh, that person. That in itself can be kind of draining, because it's like, wow, like you're so caught up on, this intertangled web of pettiness when the reality is it could just be one big misunderstanding. Which leads me into number two. It promotes misunderstandings far more than anything else, because you don't have a proper idea or understanding of something that someone might post, so you make assumptions. For example, let's say that you see someone, or you're texting somebody, and you're just talking to them or whatever, and you make plans with them, and they say, oh nah, I can't make that, sorry. And it's like, okay, well fine, you can't make it, well, understandable. So you just assume that they're busy with something, important, or like maybe they got work or something. And you go on social media and you see them hanging out at some party or something like that. It's very easy to see that and think, oh, so they're not too busy to go party, but they're too busy for me. when the reality might be that they agreed to go to that event first. Maybe they flaked out on that person throwing the event so much that they felt obligated to want to go. There could be a million different reasons as to why they didn't show up to whatever you had. But your mind will instantaneously go to the more negative thought because that's just kind of what humans do. And that could depress you. It can make you feel like, people are one way, or people that you thought you knew so well are one way, when it's just a misunderstanding. But people just like to assume so much nowadays, and with social media more than ever. If you post a picture with someone of the opposite sex, it don't matter what their relation is to you, y'all date. And it's like, no, we're not, but that's what the assumption happens. And once again, that assumption breeds misunderstanding, which breeds gossip, which breeds bad reputation, which breeds a whole lot of other different things, So it's really important that we try to have a base, proper understanding of facts before we go around assuming and misunderstanding, because that can really just hurt us in the long run. That leads to number 3, nosiness. People are just nosy on social media, it seems. I know people who literally follow people just because they can be nosy and keep up to date on them, or have dirt on them, or whatever. And while nosiness in and of itself doesn't depress anybody, it's the idea that, just people are commenting on your stuff, they're liking your pictures, they're these people, you've met them at functions, but the reality is that these people, or that person rather, who's just following you to be nosy, doesn't actually care about you. Doesn't actually care about your issues, doesn't actually care about your problems, doesn't care about what you deal with. They are just following you to be nosy. And, for a lot of people, there's really no fault in that or whatever. But for a lot of other people, who may, follow people based solely upon, oh, I like this person, I think they're cool. It might depress someone to find out that, you're only following them just because you just want to keep up to date on when I mess up, or keep up to date on when I screw up, or just because you want to know some juicy information that, that you're not really going to get otherwise. That's a minute reason. It's very small, very minuscule, but I've heard people just talk about it before, so I thought that could be a potential reason for a lot of people. Number 4, it makes you feel alone. Social media, ironically, for all of its ability to connect with people all over the world and people you would often never see, makes you feel so alone sometimes, because you're seeing all these people, you're talking to them on the regular, you're messaging them, they're liking your stuff, you're getting all these notifications, but then when you actually take a step back out of that world, out of the social media realm, you realize that you might not have that many people in your actual life around you. I mean, yeah, sure, these people are, commenting and liking your stuff, but how many people would actually be here for you, once things get rough? Like, how many of these people can you actually legitimately talk to? And once you kind of realize that, it really gets under your skin. It really does drain you, because you're like, wow, like do I not have anybody? But and it just really does something to you. It just really makes you believe that you're more alone than you might actually be, But being alone in and of itself can be emotionally draining. But when you amplify it by seeing all these people, and then just stepping back, it just makes the loneliness that much more prominent. It magnifies it. And for a lot of people, that can distress them. That can maybe really shut them down, make them feel like they don't have anybody. And that's only amplified by number 5, insecurity and jealousy. Now, I'm not saying that if you feel this way that you are jealous or insecure. Those are just words I'm just using to get a proper understanding of what I mean. But when we go on social media, we see people posting, themselves on exotic vacations, at great, amazing jobs, doing all these great things that we wish we were doing, these fitness goals. And then we may feel like it may make us look at our lives and think, man, I'm not anything. Look at what they're doing. We compare ourselves, and it makes us feel like our lives are nothing. And for a lot of people, that kind of thought process can just make or break them. It can make them be someone that they're not. It can make them think something that's not even true. And that it really is a toxic mindset, because there's nothing wrong with anything. Like, these people are posting their accomplishments and things they're proud of, and there's nothing wrong with that. But people can just see them and they'll be happy for you, but they'll just be like, man, why? That's not me. That's not me. Like I know I've been seeing like marriage after marriage after marriage after marriage, and there are a lot of people who want to be in a relationship. There are a lot of people who want to find someone that they can, spend the rest of their life with. Then they're not, and that is just it's killing them. It's making them emotionally hurt, and this is all made worse by the fact that you are not allowed to post anything negative on social media. You are not allowed to post things about being unhappy. You're not allowed to post things about going through trouble. You're not allowed to post things that say I'm having a really rough time. Because if you do, you're seen as just craving for attention, or you're just seen as someone who's complaining and whining, or you're just a negative person who's bringing the vibe down. Which means you're only going to post positive things of a fake nature. It's going to be fake positivity, artificial, synthetic. It's not going to be real. Because of that, that means that even less people are understanding that you are in a crisis, that you're in pain. When the reality is we're all in pain. But for some strange reason, we're not allowed to talk about that on social media. And, because if you're seeing, it's like people will be like, get a diary. And for a lot of people, social media is their diary. Nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with that. And if you really don't want to see their stuff, you don't have to follow them. You don't have to read it. But, for a lot of people, they feel like they can't even vent about what they're dealing with on social media. They feel like they can't even talk about it. And which only amplifies how alone they may feel. This all accumulates into a person feeling emotionally exhausted by social media. And that's not even talking about, just seeing hateful comments about, very politically or religiously sensitive topics. That's not even going into that. And a lot of people just feel the need to step back from it a lot. So what do? What is there to do? Do we just go on social media and just take a break every now and again when things get rough? Well, again, social media is not all bad by any means. And for a lot of us, we've been able to filter social media to where we're not seeing much bad stuff, and maybe that's something that, everyone needs to do. Maybe just be able to filter it to where, it's not affecting us so negatively. But if it is, there's nothing wrong with taking a little break from social media. Recharge it, because social media takes a lot of energy. As crazy as that is to say, it does. A lot of people deal with all kinds of crazy stuff on social media, and sometimes just taking a step back, collecting yourselves, being away from it all, and just actually dealing with, your life as is. Sometimes it does us a lot of good. It does us a lot of good, and we're able to come back to social media with a completely different vigor, and we're able to handle it better. God knows that's what I did. So yeah, again, not meant to bash social media by any means, but understand that social media can be depressing. It can very much make people sad, make people feel alone, and if you need to take a break from it, that's okay. That's fine. It's okay. Do what you gotta do to make yourself feel better. But the last thing we want is to be drained by social media, be drained by others, what others people think, what other people are doing, because we are in control of our own peace and we don't want anyone else to disturb that. So if you must do what you have to do what you have to do. Post whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want on social media. It's your page, it's your profile. No one can tell you what you have. No one can be like, hey, you just do what you just do it. Don't be afraid to talk about certain things. Don't be afraid to vent certain things. Don't be afraid to make certain things known. But all importantly, just look at social media as what it is. Just an outlet. It's an outlet. That's all it is. It's an outlet and a means to connect with people. Don't let it drain you, okay? So if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate it. You're a trooper. And hopefully, if social media has been draining you, hopefully this is able to put it in perspective and show you that you're not alone, that you are not the only person who feels this way. And it's okay that you do feel that way. It's fine. You're human. We're all human. So if that is the case, I hope you're having a great day. If it isn't the case, I hope you're having a great day. And like I said, thanks so much for watching. See you guys later.